Do you feel the vibes?
Hello, grade 9. Let's continue with the second lesson in algebra, unit 2, properties of proportion. Now with property number 5, we have an example to understand this property. If we have a proportion like 4 over 7 equals 8 over 14 equals 12 over 21. The first ratio of 8 4 over 7, the second 8 over 14, and the third is 12 over 21. So we will apply some properties or some operations for this proportion to understand property number 5. First of all, let's add the antecedents and consequence of the first and the second ratios like this. 4 plus 8 over 7 plus 14 equals 4 plus 8 12 over 7 plus 14 21. In the simplest form equals 4 over 7. 4 over 7 is the first term, the first ratio. So the adding of the first and the second ratios equals one of given ratios is the first ratio. Another one. Also, if we add the antecedents and consequence of the second with third ratios, let's see, 8 plus 12 over 14 plus 21 equals 20 over 35. In the simplest form equals 4 over 7, the first ratio. So if we add the antecedents and consequence of the second and the third ratios, we will find that the result will be one of given ratios. So if we add the first with second or the second and third ratios, the result will be one of given ratios. The next one, let's add all the ratios, the antecedents and consequence of the three given ratios. It will be 4 plus 8 plus 12 over 7 plus 14 plus 21. It will be 24 over 42. In the simplest form, by dividing 6, it will be 4 over 7. It is a given ratio, number 1. So equals one of given ratios. So if we add the first with second, the second with third, if we add all the ratios, the result will be one of given ratios. This is very important. If we add any two ratios or all the ratios, the result will be one of given ratios. Next. Now if we multiply the two terms of the first and the second of the first by number like 2 and the second by a number like -4, then let's see, we said we will multiply the first by 2. So 4 times 2 8, 7 times 2 14. In the simplest form 4 over 7. So if we multiply the two terms of any ratio of the proportion, the result will be one of given ratios. By the same way, with the second ratio, if we multiply it by the same number, -4, it will be -16 over 28. In the simplest form, 4 over 7. So generally, we can say if we multiply any ratio of proportion, the result will be one of given ratios. So property number 5, f a over b equal c over d equal e over f, and m1 m2 m3 are constants numbers, non-zero real numbers. Then if we multiply n ratio by a number but similar number, m1 m1 times a times b is the first ratio, and we will add all the ratios. The result will be one of the given ratios. Let's apply by a lot of exercise for this property. Example 1: if a plus b over 11 equals b plus c over 9 equals c plus a over 4, prove that a plus b plus c over 5a plus 4b plus 3c equals 6 over 25. We will start from the proof and we will try to find each of the antecedent and consequent by applying the adding and the multiplying operations of the proportion. How come? First of all, we want a plus b plus c. How to find it from the proportion? By adding all the ratios. So the sum of antecedents over the sum of consequence will be equals one of the given ratios, like this. The sum of antecedents over the sum of consequence equals one of the given ratios. Let's apply it. A plus a to a, b plus b to b, c plus c to c, over 11 plus 9 plus 4 equals 24. We can divide up and down by 2. It will be a plus b plus c over 12 equals one of the given ratios. This number 1. Now we got the antecedent of the proof. Let's get the consequent of the proof. How come? We want to find 5a, and a is found at the first ratio and the third ratio. We can multiply the first ratio by 3 and the third ratio by 2 to find 3a plus 2a equals 5a. By the same way, we multiplied the first ratio by 3. It will be 3b, but I want 4b. We will add the first and the second. Now we can multiply the first by 3 and the third by 2. Then we will add all the ratios, like this. Multiplying the two terms of the first ratio by 3 and the third by 2. Then adding the antecedents and consequence of the three ratios. It will be 3a plus 3b over 33, multiplying by 3, plus b plus c over 9 as it is, plus 2c plus 2a over 8 multiplying by 2 equals one of the given ratios. Let's finish it. 3a plus 2a 5a, 3b plus b 4b, c plus 2c equals 3c over 33 plus 9 plus 8 equals 50 equals one of the given ratios. Now we found the left hand side of the proof. But if you notice that from 1 and 2, a plus b plus c over 12 equals 5a plus 4b plus 3c over 50. From the third property, we can say the first antecedent over the second antecedent equals the first consequent over the second consequent, like this. So a plus b plus c over 5a plus 4b plus 3c equals 12 over 50. In the simplest form equals 6 over 25. The next example. Now we will start from the proof a over 2b equals x over y. First of all, we want A from the proportion, and we will find 2B from the proportion. How come? Let's multiply the two terms of the second ratio by -1 to subtract it from the two ratios. How come? Let's see. We will multiply the second ratio by -1 and we will add all the ratios like this. A plus 4b minus 4b minus 7c plus 7c plus a over x plus 2y minus 2y minus 5z plus 5z plus x. Now we can remove 4b with -4b, negative 7c with positive 7c, by the same way 2y with -2y, negative 5z with 5z. The remaining equals a over x and equals one of the given ratios. By the same way, now we will multiply the third ratio by -1 to subtract it from the two ratios, the first and the second. How come? We will multiply the third term by -1 and we will add all the ratios. It will be a plus 4b plus 4b plus 7c minus 7c minus a over x plus 2y plus 2y plus 5z negative 5z negative x. It will be 8b over 4y. Divide by 4, it will be 2b over y equals one of the given ratios. Number 2. From 1 and 2, a over x equals 2b over y. The first antecedent over the second antecedent equals the first consequence over the second consequence. If a over 2 equal b over 3 equals c over 4 equals 2a minus b plus 5c over 3x. Find the value of x. Now focus for the fourth ratio. We can multiply the first ratio here by 2 to find 2a, and the second one times -1 to get -b, and we multiply the third ratio by 5 to get 5c, and we will add them like this. Multiply the first by 2, the second by -1, the third by 5, and add them. It will be 2a over 4 minus b over 3 plus 5c over 20. It will be 2a negative 5 positive 5c over 21. Now the corresponding values, 21 equals 3x and the antecedents are the same, so 3x equals 21, an equation dividing by 3x equal 7. The last example, if x plus y over 7 equals y plus z over 5 equals z plus x over 8, prove that x plus y plus z over x minus z equals 5. We will start with the proof x plus y plus z. That means we will add all the ratios. The sum of antecedents over the sum of consequence equals the ratio of the given ratio, or the one of the given ratios, like this. X plus y plus y plus z plus z plus x equals 7 over 7 plus 5 plus 8 equals 2x plus 2y plus 2z, and we will take highest common factor 2, and the consequence is 20 dividing by 2, x plus y plus z over 10 equals one of the given ratios. Number 1. The consequence here, x minus z. How to find x minus z? We can multiply the second ratio by -1 and add it by the first ratio. Multiplying the second ratio by -1, adding the consequence and the consequent of the first and the second. So it will be x plus y, negative z over 7 minus 5 equals x minus z over 2. From 1 and 2, x plus y plus z over 10 equals x minus z over 2. The next step, we will take the first antecedent over the second antecedent equals the first consequence over the second consequence. It will be 5. Thank you for listening. I hope that you benefited from this session. Goodbye.